Welcome back to the Ross Bolin podcast, presented by Bolin Media. I am Ross Bolin, here with producer Kade Orris. How are you, Kade?
Doing pretty good.
You're hoodied up. Hoodie Kade today.
Hoodie Kade. I'm always hoodie Kade, I feel like, at least most of the time.
Nice positive vibes coming from your hat, though.
Oh, yeah. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day twice.
Have a nice day twice.
Yeah, with a smiley face.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, doing good. Went on a date last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you tell me on Patreon what you were doing?
What I was, like, for the date? Or?
Yeah, did we talk about this?
Yeah, last week, because I was supposed to go on the date Friday.
But rescheduled on you.
Rescheduled.
How did it go? Was it a win?
I count it as a win. I mean, I don't know. Like, it seemed like it went well.
You didn't hate each other?
No, I thought we had a good time.
Did you know each other much prior to it?
Yeah, so she's friends with, like, two of my close friends here, but they just never, like, mentioned the fact that, like, they knew her. And, like, the first time I met her was a couple weeks ago for, like, at the bars for the Ohio State-Oregon game.
Right.
So that's when I met her.
And so she met you at a dark period.
Yeah, at one of my low points, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I'll still go out with this guy."
It's a good sign.
Yeah. But yeah, we just got a couple drinks at Holiday. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah, you told me about Holiday.
Yeah. Nice spot.
I asked why it's called that.
Oh yeah, and I didn't have an answer. I had no idea.
Did you get answers?
No, I didn't ask the server.
When you ordered, you didn't say why is it called Holiday?
Yeah. I'll be honest, like I don't really.
You don't care
about why they named these places.
You just don't care.
Yeah,
I cared.
You
don't care that I care either.
No, not really. It wasn't on my mind when I was on this day. I'm like, oh, I wonder.
Gotta find out some information for Ross.
Yeah. Well, next time I go there, I'll ask them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put this to rest. Yeah. For me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, doing good. Went on my walk again this morning too. So
did it again.
We did it 2 days in a row.
If you're not on patreon.com/Ross Bolin podcast, Kade has become a morning walk person.
Yeah,
we're both changing up our morning routines.
Trying to be better.
Look at
in
us.
The morning. Yeah. Just be a little more productive instead of just lay in bed for over an hour scrolling social media.
There's probably not a worse way you could start your day.
No, it's probably the worst.
Maybe like waking up and smoking crack immediately is probably worse, but like just waking up and laying there and scrolling social media is truly awful. I mean, sometimes I still do it. Like I'll roll over and grab my phone and I'm like, I'll just see what's happening on Twitter real quick. And every time within like a couple of thumb taps, scrolls, I'm like, this is fucking
this
terrible
is the worst
for
news
me.
I've ever seen. Yeah.
Why am I doing this to myself? This is no way to start a day.
Yeah, no, just starting your day off with some negativity. So
because that's what there is on there.
Switch it up, yeah.
Bad vibes, especially now.
Yeah, but I am back on Twitter, I will say.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, you kind of got me back on there because you sent me a tweet last night.
Oh yeah.
And like I could still see it, like if I just like click on the link.
What was it?
Dude, honestly, I was so confused when you sent it to me. I was on my date when you sent it, so I was like, oh, I'll check it later. I get back home, I'm a little buzzed and a little high. I'm like, okay, let me go check Ross's tweet that he sent me.
I just pulled it up.
And you sent the fucking, this is our Colts, this is our team guy. He like tweeted something, and it has like a picture of it, like a YouTube clip. He made like Kung Fu Panda 4, alternate ending 2. Yeah,
I think he made an alternate ending.
Oh, he made an
that was my impression. That's why I sent it to you. I was like, I can't believe the guy who sings the Colts song every week. This is like I don't think, just like the name Holiday, I don't think Kade necessarily cares about this Colts super fan singing the song every week, but I'm obsessed with this guy.
Yeah.
And I saw he fired out a Kung Fu Panda 4 alternate ending number 2. Not alternate ending number 1. Number 2 that is almost at 1 million views. He's like 50K more views to get to 1 million views. Hope to get before year's end or end February 2025. Would be awesome either way. From
it doesn't matter when I get there. I just want the million views.
He's Seth Erskine's, a.k.a. Da Flow.
Da Flow.
Which I mean,
he do be flowing on those tracks.
But his bars are just
his bars are kind of
just dog shit, man. What is the one he dropped this week? It's
it was horns down
on CJ Stroud's turf.
Yeah,
which as I mentioned to Kade, that's not even
It's not
even a thing for us. We don't do horns. We do an H.
Do an H.
It's the letter H.
H down.
The letter H down in H-Town. Yeah. Anyway, I love DeFlo.
Yeah.
One of my favorite artists currently. I wait for his new song to drop every week, and then I usually retweet it or quote tweet it. If you're on Twitter and you follow me, you've probably seen it and been like, "What the fuck is this? Why is Ross?
Why is he retweeting a Colts guy
promoting this divisional rivals fucking unofficial mascot?" Yeah, I love that dude. I fucking love him.
Yeah, I was so confused though, because I'm like, why the fuck is Ross singing this alternate ending to Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, I was a little high too, man. So I was probably just as confused as you were.
And I clicked on what I thought was a video. I'm like, why is this not playing? What's going on?
Screenshot.
Just a screenshot. I was like, what the fuck?
A screenshot of a video, which is my other favorite thing about the tweet. It's the worst tweet ever. It's so unproductive. It's not even the link to the fucking video. If he's trying to get more views, he should have just put the YouTube link in there. But it's a screenshot of a YouTube video that says Kung Fu Panda 4, alternate ending number 2. And the craziest thing about this entire situation is that 950,000 people have watched it. I'm telling you, Kung Fu Panda is a huge franchise, much bigger than
top 5 franchise of all time.
Much bigger than people realize. No, that's just Kung Fu Panda 1.
Oh, okay.
That is a top
5.
10.
I want to say you said top 5.
Well, now it's top 5. We're promoting it. Top 5, top 5, top 5. But I'm glad the date went well.
Yeah.
And you had fun at Holiday.
Yeah. It was a blast.
Yeah.
And first weekend of Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Big day for Buddy.
Yeah. So are you going out tonight as Buddy the Elf?
Of course. And Saturday. Probably next Thursday. And next Friday.
It's going to get a lot of run this next couple weeks, Buddy the Elf.
I might be going insane by the end of it.
I know
by the times I hear... Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. I know just all the quotes.
I know we've talked about this before, but do you is it machine washable?
Yeah, I wash the the pants and like the costume. I don't wash the hat because it has like a little feather in it. I don't want to fuck it up.
Well, of course not. You can't have that.
Can't fuck up the little feather. Yeah,
you need that feather.
That's what brings the whole costume together.
It does.
But yeah, I wash it and then I don't dry the the suit.
You hang dry it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just gotta be careful.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck with that, but the pants are fine.
You don't rip drunk heaters, right?
No.
You don't smoke cigs.
No.
That
I smoke weed.
Right, but like cigarette smell clings to your clothing in a way that is disturbing.
Yeah.
So if you weren't washing it and you were smoking cigs, drinking, like I just imagine that Buddy the Elf would start to smell like a fucking AA meeting by the end of the couple-week run.
If you like Buddy the Elf was in Bad Santa.
Right. God, I love that movie.
But who knows? Maybe if I have enough syrup this weekend, I might rip a drunk cig.
Oh, so yeah, because Buddy drinks syrup. That took me a second. I was like, what the fuck? You sipping syrup now, dude? It's probably not something you should just disclose without even being prompted. Now you're a fucking lean head. All right, well, to shift gears, pun intended, Kade, you're aware that I drive an electric vehicle.
I am, yeah.
An Elon Musk mobile, a 2021 Tesla Model 3 that I purchased, brand new, 0 miles, paper plates, baller shit, back when I made more money. And so when I cruise around town, I'm very low to the ground. It's a small car.
Right.
You know? It's like a futuristic lightning-powered golf cart, basically. It drives like a golf cart. Like, it actually does. Like, if anybody's ever driven a golf cart, that's how electric vehicles drive. It's very similar to driving a golf cart. Well, last weekend, I've been driving that thing for 3 years, first of all. Mm-hmm. And before that, you know, famously, I totaled my Tahoe by running into a boat on a highway, which is...
It's a weird place to have a boat.
It's a strange accident to have. I hit just right into the back of a fucking pontoon boat. So after the Tahoe got totaled, I used the insurance check to buy a really old, like 2003 Lexus sedan. And I drove that for a while. It was also small. And that was the first small car I ever had. Mm-hmm. Before that, I drove an Expedition. That was my first car. It was a big-ass SUV. Then a Tahoe. And then I was like, you know what? Let's see what this is all about. Let's see what these small cars are like. Because I don't know if you know this, but they tend to be cheaper than the very large cars. I think SUVs are like $100,000 nowadays. All that is to say, I've been in little cars for a while. And last weekend, I had to borrow my neighbor's truck to drive. Like, we had a shit ton of cardboard boxes in my home office because my wife ordered like a bunch of furniture that had to be assembled, and just like 1,000 cardboard boxes were occupying my home office for like 2.5 weeks until she asked one of our neighbors, "Can we borrow your truck to get rid of all these boxes?" Because neither of our cars would fit all these boxes. So I borrowed my neighbor's truck to drive a shit ton of cardboard boxes to the recycling bin that's in the apartment complex down the street. Because, you know, they've got a big ass fucking...
Yeah, they got big dumpsters.
Receptacle in there. So fuck them.
Fuck.
And, and this was not just any truck. This was a Ford Super Duty F-350.
Shit.
A fucking
goddamn
beast. And this dude takes really good care of his truck. Like, it was like... immaculate inside.
Yeah.
Even he's got 2 car seats in the back of this thing. So even with kids, like he must have just gotten it washed because I was like, damn, this is
not a bunch of trash.
No,
on the
it
inside,
was very
clean
nice
on the outside.
Very nice truck, very clean on the outside, very shiny, very clean on the inside.
Ice cream paint job.
Yes, that's exactly what it made me think of. Was that Duro?
Yeah. He's a Texas guy.
Shout out to Duro. I think he's a Dallas guy.
Yeah,
which is okay. We'll take it.
All right.
So I load up the back of this truck with all these boxes, right, and use a step ladder to climb up into the driver's seat of this fucking beast. And I sit down in this thing, and when I turn the key in the ignition, immediately I was like, I felt my dick move. It was. I haven't driven a gas-powered car since 2020, basically, and even that one, like when I started that shitty little Lexus, it wasn't like,
no, yeah,
it was like, just a little pussy mobile. This was a fucking roar, and it was illuminating. I felt my balls swell as well.
Damn, do you need to like get that checked out or something?
Possibly, yeah. It had an effect on me, clearly.
Clearly aroused. Oh my God.
Dude, okay, first of all, driving a regular, like, automatic transmission gas-powered vehicle after driving a Tesla for 3 years was terrifying. Because they work completely differently. Like, when you have momentum in the electric vehicle and you take your foot off the gas, it like automatically brakes. Like the brakes are activated when you take your foot off the gas. That is not how it works in a gas-powered car.
No, it keeps moving.
You take your foot off the gas and the fucking thing just keeps going, right? I'm not used to that. I'm going like 8 miles an hour in my neighborhood because it's enormous. I don't want to hit anybody or anything. I'm trying not to kill anything. It's like a fucking quarter-mile drive. I just need to survive. And it was like driving a fucking tank down the street, dude. Like, I felt like I was like the king of the world.
Yeah, you're sitting high.
So
above
high.
all the other cars.
So high in this thing. Like, higher than every other car in the neighborhood. And it just made me realize, like, I get it.
You get being a truck guy?
I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice up there. You just feel so safe. Like, nobody could possibly hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, like, even, like, if, like, people who get in accidents, like, in trucks, like, I feel like they
usually
are
fine.
Safer, yeah.
Yeah, that was always the idea with my parents when I was little and I wanted to get my first car, and I wanted to get not an El Camino, a Impala. I wanted to get a Chevy Impala because I wanted to be a gangster.
Yeah.
And
a 6'4" Impala? Or...
No, I think it was more modern.
Oh, okay.
But they were like, no, you have to get a big car so that if you drive like shit, you don't die. Or if somebody hits you, you don't die. If somebody else drives like shit, you don't die. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, dude, it was an erotic experience. I was so fucking happy for the 10 minutes that I got to use this thing. Like, I didn't want to drop it back off. I kind of just wanted to steal
want
it.
To keep it for yourself.
Just see if
you just want to like switch cars, like give him the Tesla and you'll take the truck.
Yeah, dude, I'd 100% be down for that. It was sick. Minus having to like go stop and fill it up for gas, once a week, which I feel like is a beating. Because I haven't filled a gas tank.
Don't have to with the electric car
over 3 years either.
Got to charge it up.
Plug it into the wall a couple times a week, and I'm good to go. But it was sexy. Engine humming, exhaust howling. I've never felt so alive, and I was just like, truck guys. I ironically look down on them, but
really you should be looking up at them now.
It's a lifestyle. Yeah. It's a lifestyle.
They're looking down on everyone else,
and they are. They are running this country, truck guys.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, and they have to be respected because they could. That truck could run the fuck over my little ass EV.
Yeah, it'd be like a little monster truck.
Like a monster truck.
Yeah.
Just crush my shit.
Yeah.
and I felt emasculated. When I got out of it, I was like, I won't maybe ever feel that ever again. That might have been it. Like, who knows what lies down the road, you know? Maybe I never get to be in a big boy truck again. But
maybe Cybertruck.
It was tight.
Rolling one of those.
Dude, they're trying to push those so hard. I get one email a week that's like, meet the Cybertruck from Tesla, because, you know, they have my information.
You get those emails all the time.
They're desperately trying to sell me a fucking Cybertruck. And I won't lie to you. I don't hate them anymore.
You've been tempted.
It just sounds like it's a mess still. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to get it wrapped because the paint rusts or some shit or whatever that weird, you know, metallic fucking finish it has on it. Mm-hmm. They've had a lot of issues with it. There have been like 5 recalls already, which are not as bad as people assume they are because it's usually an over-the-air like update to the software of the car. You don't have to take it in anywhere is my point. But like I said either on Patreon or on our public show recently, there is now a Cybertruck at my kid's school. Like when I go to pick up, one of the parents is driving one of these things.
Right.
And I like peeked in there, you know?
Yeah, what's like the interior looking like? Is it similar to the
It's pretty
Tesla?
Similar to the Tesla SUVs, but it's like there's more space. And it's cool. It looks cool to me. It's like driving a car out of the video game Halo.
Yeah.
And you look like a douchebag and everybody makes fun of you behind your back and into your face and hates you and scoffs at you when you're moving through traffic, but like I don't care about any of that.
No, you're driving a Cybertruck.
And it's a big,
you're better than everyone.
And I think it's like bulletproof, you know? So that's something to consider.
Austin's a pretty dangerous city, so
just constant shootouts in the streets.
Some people call it the Gotham of the South.
That's what they've said, yeah. Anyway, it was fun living the truck life again for a few minutes there, and it just made me kind of question my lifestyle choices.
And where you went wrong.
Maybe fuck the planet, you know?
It's already fucked enough.
Maybe fuck the planet, and maybe this is how I should be living. Maybe I should be truck guy and have a fucking...
Yeah, you're here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly.
Boss.
I mean, the F-350 life might be for me. It's just something I'm mulling over, thinking about it. Anyway, Kate, are you familiar with a movie called The Carpenter?
I wasn't until this morning when you told me to look up the trailer.
So I found this online yesterday, this movie, The Carpenter, and it looks like one of the most insane movies ever made. Now, I've found multiple release dates, so I can't really tell when it's coming out. Mm-hmm. One release date says it came out in 2023, but through my own personal research that I've done, I do not think that's the case. I think it comes out November 1st, 2024, so like it's about to come out in like 7 days or whatever from now. And the premise of the film is that an adopted Viking orphan becomes a carpenter's apprentice. And that carpenter is Jesus Christ. And this takes place in the historic time period of Jesus's life. So a couple thousand years ago or whatever.
Right.
And you have to watch the trailer to do it justice, but just... It's an MMA movie.
Yeah, set in like Jerusalem.
Yes.
When Jesus was alive.
Yeah. So if like UFC existed when Jesus did, the guy is a Viking orphan. His father dies and he becomes a carpenter's apprentice. And the orphan, Orin is his name. He fights as his side hustle because everyone
needs a side hustle. Yeah.
Kate's got stripping.
Right.
I had streaming for a while. Now I don't really have one.
No side hustle for you.
I guess dropping off for cycling is my side hustle, but nobody pays me. And that's his side hustle. He's an MMA fighter, Orin, and his experience training as a carpenter with Jesus as his mentor changes his lifestyle. That's the synopsis of the film. Jesus. And it looks so bad. Like so bad. Like I'm not going to pay to see this in theaters, obviously, but I'm adding this to the list with Megalopolis and the Joker Folie à Deux. That I have to see this for myself,
right.
Like at one point, just to see how insane it really is. Like at some point soon, if I get a night alone, I'm gonna pay the like $4.99 to stream this thing
for The Carpenter,
because I don't think it's gonna make it to like Max or Amazon Prime or Netflix.
No, this is gonna be on like Tubi or Fubu.
It's gonna be on some shit I don't have.
One of the streaming services.
One of the really bad ones, and I think I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and drop a 5 spot and fucking get stoned and watch this thing because it looks incredibly funny, like unintentionally so.
Right.
Because I think they thought it was like serious, like they thought this was a good idea to make it from everything I can tell.
It sounds like it's historically accurate at least.
Yeah, so you're learning about history.
Yeah, because Vikings, they're around when Jesus was, right?
Vikings that become orphans, that become MMA fighters, that become carpenter's apprentices to Jesus.
Yeah, I'm even shocked. Like, this is actually going to be in theaters, or is it like a limited? It
seems like they're having trouble finding screens.
Can't say I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, because I just don't know who goes to see this. You know, it's like a religious drama.
Yeah, but
I'd be in if Mel Gibson was attached. Like, then maybe I would see it in theaters.
Yeah, I was about to say, they don't really have a star-studded cast for this one.
No, I've never heard of any of these people.
We weren't able to get the A-listers.
It's Cameron Krebs and... Okay, this is weird. It's starring brothers, Cameron Krebs, both spelled with a K. Both Cameron and Krebs are spelled with a K. And then Colin Krebs, Kaulin, also spelled with a K.
Okay, I feel like I am getting completely different
information than me?
Yeah.
What the hell? Where? What are you on?
I'm just on Google, just looked up the cast. And that's... But it also doesn't even have Jesus.
There's no Krebs in your cast.
Yeah, and there's no Jesus either.
There's Krebs in my cast on IMDb. Cameron Krebs plays Oren, and Colleen Krebs plays Levi.
Okay, maybe it's a different movie because I'm not seeing a... Oh, wait, no, there is Oren. Oh, yeah, no, there's... Okay, Cameron Krebs, yes.
Oh, see, okay. You got it now.
Okay, now it's all coming together for me.
It doesn't say who plays Jesus on mine, though.
No, I'm not seeing a Jesus. Did they actually get Jesus to play him?
It's a little weird. No, I think he had a scheduling conflict.
Oh, okay.
But he has risen indeed. Anyway, so if you're looking for like a good, solid Christian MMA movie, which I feel like is a category we're always looking to fill.
Yeah.
Like, clearly there's a gap there in the entertainment industry that needs to be filled. This movie's doing it. It's The Carpenter, potentially coming out November 1st. Nobody knows where.
Potentially, allegedly.
Nobody knows if you can buy tickets in theaters. Nobody knows what the hell they were thinking when they did this. I was desperately trying to find budget. Like, how much money did they spend to make a Jesus-based MMA movie?
Right.
And I couldn't really find that. I will say this. Some of the fight scenes look, like the MMA fight scenes, look kind of tight.
Yeah, they got some big dudes.
Big burly men.
Yeah. So I imagine they got pull some strings, got some actual fighters in there. At least make that look authentic. At least. So that could be sick. But
yeah. The Viking orphan is large.
Yeah,
as you would expect.
He's huge.
And he's just out there
whooping
ass.
He's got that Viking blood in him.
He's just out there whooping ass as a side hustle. And then Jesus, one of the lines in the trailer is like, if this is your calling, to fight men with your fists, then try to find a way to use that to better your community.
Yeah, for good.
And shine your light. And Oren is like, oh, fuck yeah, Jesus.
Jesus is all in.
Yeah.
He's got money. He's got the money line on his boy Oren.
That's right, dude. He's in his corner. He's like his bucket and towel guy,
Exactly.
When he's out there fucking between rounds, Jesus spits a couple of, psalms at him or something. Keep him grounded, fucking motivated for the fight. Anyway, I thought it was like a parody thing when I saw it on Twitter. I was like, okay, this
seems like an SNL skit for like a movie trailer.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And then no. Like,
no, it's
very,
real.
very real. Like the line on the poster they have is the King of the Ring meets the Prince of Peace.
Yeah. I'm a little shocked that Jesus would be down for that,
right?
For violence,
because of the beating and the blood. And yeah. Well, he was open to everything. He hung with prostitutes.
That is true.
And poor people and the disease.
He was in the slums, so I guess he probably
he gets it. He gets the street life.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to have a side hustle where you're an MMA fighter.
Exactly.
Even if you're a carpenter's apprentice, and that carpenter is Jesus. Okay, we'll fucking move on. But that blew my mind. Today's episode is brought to you by Shopify. Batman and Robin, peanut butter and jelly, Ross and Kade. So what about the perfect duo when it comes to growing your business? That's you and Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not-so-secret secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through. Selling RBP merch allows us to provide our fans and listeners with shirts and hats and coffee mugs that they can wear and use in real life to show their support for our show. Shopify can be the platform that enables you to connect with your supporters in the same way. I've used Shopify pretty extensively over the years. It is amazing. It's very straightforward. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, from the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling merchandise for your podcast or homemade Halloween costumes, Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web, in store, in their feed, everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout used by Allbirds, Rothy's, Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period by going to shopify.com/RBP. All lowercase. Go to shopify.com/RBP to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/RBP, all lowercase. So Kade quit social media briefly because of the Ohio State loss to Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah, I love bringing it up.
I'm sure you do.
Although you are back now because I drew you in. Anyway, you may or may not be aware of the drama this week around yard sign wars.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this happens, every
election.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You always see the political yard signs
right
out on people's yards,
right.
And I heard people like stealing the other
candidate that they're opposed to signs and yeah. So I saw like a TikTok of some teenager got busted doing this, and he had like 68 Kamala Waltz signs, and he's getting like reamed by this old white lady who's like, just giving him the business for being a teenage shit.
Yeah, a little shithead.
Yeah. And it just got me thinking, like, what are these political yard signs even accomplishing? Like,
that's what I'm asking.
Like, what are we thinking is happening there? Because like we're surrounded by them. In the Bowling Media neighborhood, like literally on both sides, we've got political yard signs, and across the street we've got them, and it's like it's a thing that happens a lot in Austin. It seems like a lot of people are into the political yard signs, and I just don't really get it, because it's not like the yards. Like I'm not going to drive by a Kamala yard sign and be like, you know what? Now I'm going to vote for her.
I should vote for her.
Or like
that sold me. That yard sign sold me on her.
I guess one thing is that it reminds people to vote, but like at this point, like if you don't, it's everywhere all the time.
Those political ads everywhere.
It's constant. How could you possibly not be aware that there is a presidential election? How could you possibly not be aware of both candidates? It's fucking, we're inundated with it. We're drowning in it. It's ridiculous. So I just don't know, because the yard signs don't seem like, to me, that they would convince anybody to change their mind about who they're voting for. Nobody's seeing a Trump-Vance sign in their neighborhood and being like, oh, look, hon, the Joneses are voting for Trump. Maybe we should vote for Trump.
No, that's not happening.
So I think it's like the reverse is actually more likely, like being like, oh, look, the Robertsons, who absolutely suck, are voting for Trump. Maybe we should vote for Kamala. Like I think that's more likely than the alternative. But more than anything, I feel like you're just making yourself a target. Like my neighborhood, I've spoken to this before, but like Bowling Media neighborhood, very liberal. Yeah. Very liberal neighborhood. And Austin, on the whole, is a pretty blue city, like by and large, in a red state historically. But Austin has always been sort of like the liberal bastion of Texas as a state. And but my home, where I live with my wife and kids, is a pretty, it's way more like representative of the country on the whole. Like it's kind of a weird vibe for Austin, because there's a lot of both sides. So I'll drive down the street and see like one house with a Kamala sign and the next house with a Trump sign. And I'm like, well, fuck, these people must
they have to like hate each other. Yeah.
Like it just feels like you're creating conflict in your neighborhood, like with people that you otherwise would get along with, which by and large seems to be the problem with politics in our country these days anyway. I feel like it used to be like a thing like religion that you didn't really talk about with like, socially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now we're much more divided than we've ever been, as everyone knows. Like it's problematic, it sucks, and and it's really fascinating to me that like in my neighborhood, there are signs for both candidates, and in some cases, literally next door to each other, and like what kind of friction that must create. Because even to bring up another random example, you're familiar with Andrew Schultz, the comedian?
Yeah.
So Schultz does a podcast with Charlemagne the God, right?
He's on the Breakfast Club. He's like an interview person too.
Right. Super famous, like hip hop. I don't want to call him a content creator, but that's sort of what he is.
Yeah.
He does podcasting, he does radio. He's done this shit for years and years. He's very, very famous. They're both very famous at this point because Andrew Schultz has become one of the better known comedians, stand-up wise, like internationally, over the last 5 years. He's had a huge, huge explosion for his career. Anyway, those dudes do a show together, Schultz and Charlemagne, a podcast together. And Schultz has another show separate from that one where he interviewed Donald Trump. He had Trump on the show.
Right.
And then Charlemagne, and Schultz is clearly a Trump guy. Like he likes the Don. That's who he's voting for. That's why he interviewed him. Separately, Charlemagne is going on like all these programs and like shitting all over Donald Trump. And it made me wonder, like, does this create conflict for them
like
on
the
their
show?
podcast? Because it's like a very fundamental difference of belief, right? So hopefully it doesn't. I'm not saying it does. I'm saying it made me wonder because I know for a lot of people, like, in this day and age, folks struggle to identify with people who have different ideologies than them politically. Like it's a problem for families. Like I have friends whose parents are on the other side of the political spectrum from them, and it has splintered their relationship with their own families, which is horrible, right?
Right.
So if that's happening with families, I'm pretty confident it's also happening with a lot of friendships, some of which I've also seen too. Like I've mentioned repeatedly, QAnon destroyed my fantasy football league.
So funny.
It destroyed my fantasy football league, man. And you know what I found out the other day? I may have mentioned this too. But so it was one guy that went full Q.
You never go full Q.
Never go full Q. But he went full Q in 2020, man. And I couldn't take it anymore. And there was a series of events that I outlined on Patreon earlier this week that also caused me to eventually be like, fuck it, I'm out. I can't do this league anymore. Well, I found out the other day that the QAnon guy also eventually left the league. So he's not even there anymore. And which I'm like, I should still be there. But they've replaced both of us. And,
that's a bummer.
And yeah, the other day I was talking to one of my buddies, Dave Ruff of Washed Media. I was like, how's the fantasy league going, Because I miss it, admittedly.
Yeah.
And,
well, you're in one now.
Well, I know, but this was like I knew all these dudes from college.
Right.
It was many years that we'd been doing this. It was expensive. It wasn't like our cheap little RBP league, which is like, what, $10?
Right, yeah.
It's still fun. I'm not saying it's not. Also, my team is a disaster because it's all Texans, and if they suck, then the team sucks. Anyway, but I was talking to him, and I was like, yeah, so, if y'all ever have like an opening, I'd consider coming back.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, you got to hit up the commissioner. And I was like, no, fuck that. So me and the commissioner had beef. You're supposed to have beef with your fantasy commissioner.
Yeah, no one likes their fantasy commissioner.
Supposed to hate the
commish.
commish.
A rule, yeah.
Yeah, it's part of it. Fuck the commish. But
you know he does so much work.
Yeah, we used to have a hashtag fuck the commish, and I think he at one point almost made merchandise. Our commissioner did because to use that phrase. And all that is to say, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. It's not worth it. But yeah, politics being as divisive as they are, the political violence that we've seen unfold this year, all those things considered, like, you couldn't pay me to put a sign in my yard.
Absolutely not.
That makes me either a target or creates some kind of conflict with my neighbors. I'm not and that I just don't think there's any positive that comes from it.
All it lets like people know is that who you're voting for, and to be honest, I don't give a shit who you're voting for.
It's like virtue signaling.
Yeah.
I really don't understand it, and it just this most recent thing with the yard signs being stolen just made me think even more. Like, why would you? You don't see the bumper stickers as much. I'll say that. Like, There's not as many bumper stickers as there used to be. That used to be a bigger deal. So I think the amount of divisiveness has dissuaded people from putting shit on their car as much.
But I see people like wearing like the merch and
gear?
stuff. Yeah, you know, the Make America Great Again hats. And
Yeah.
like, I think like
Kamala tees and stuff.
Yeah, I think they have like the Kamala walls, like camo hats
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
too now. So I'm just
That one
like,
cracked me up, just trying to reach across the aisle to the fucking
see
the
what
camo
they
crowd.
can get. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's a strategy. They should have made their yard signs camouflage. That would be funny.
Well, then people won't be able to see
I
them,
know,
Ross.
that's why it would be funny
okay,
to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halloween coming up. You've got all these signs in your yards. And there's just
That's
another.
the scariest decoration out there.
It's an added element. Yeah, that I'm like, I don't know. Maybe we should stay away from this house, honey. They're political.
There's the house with the dead baby zombie.
No, dude, no. And I'll say this: the dead baby,
Not an actual dead baby, by the way.
the giant inflatable baby corpse in one of my neighbor's yards. It used to be inflated the whole of October, so like it was just always inflated. And like I said, it's like bigger than you, it's bigger than this table. It's fucking huge, dead baby, zombie baby. I'll stop saying dead baby. I'll just start calling it the zombie baby. And now they have it set up to where it's on a timer, so it only inflates at night, which is much more appropriate, frankly. But the bummer is I'm never out and about at night because that's when Daddy sleeps. And so now I don't get to see it, but I guess I'll see it on Halloween.
Yeah, no, you need to send a pic of that to me because I need it.
Every time I've driven by it, it's fucking deflated back there. And I'm like, like Snoopy's propped up in the front.
Yeah, well, Snoopy's
Family friendly?
family friendly, yeah.
Yeah. I may avoid that house regardless of their lack of political signage just because I don't know what motivates you to put a zombie baby that size in your yard. Anyway, I'm curious. If you're listening or watching and you have presidential election signage in your front yard, what's the deal? What do you why? I just want to know why. Like, what is it doing for you, or what do you think it's doing for anybody else? Because I clearly don't get it. And I'm out on political signage. It's just so in the 1960s, it probably made a hell of a lot of sense.
Right.
Nobody had smartphones. There was no social media. Life existed outside of the television. It doesn't anymore. The news cycle's 24 hours. Social media has taken over the fucking world. You cannot watch a single thing on television without getting a weird ad and seeing a political ad commercial. So we don't need these anymore. And I think you have to pay for them. Like, I'm pretty sure they cost money.
Yeah, I don't think they're just like handing them out.
I think you have to make a donation, and then they send you one. So you have to like
thanks
donate.
for the money. Here's a sign.
Yeah. Here, endanger your family with this signage.
A little bit, yeah.
Right? Like, what the fuck? I just don't. There are people that take this shit very, very seriously to a point that is unhealthy. And you're just identifying yourself to the enemy, basically.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of like how in war, the different sides have different, like, uniforms.
Yeah.
Like, you're just identifying yourself for the enemy.
On what side you're on, yeah.
Clearly, I'm not a military man. In other political news, Dan the ad salesman couldn't even come into the office today because Trump is going to do Joe Rogan's podcast. And as some of you may know, Joe Rogan now operates out of Austin, Texas, and traffic is fucked as a result.
I mean, it's always fucked, but it's even more fucked.
So much more fucked.
Now.
It's so bad because they shut down multiple roads. They usually have like, because I've run into this problem before, both in when Biden visited Austin, and then also in like 2018, I want to say it was, Trump came to Austin for something, and I got stuck behind the fucking motorcade, and I didn't move for like 45 minutes because they keep a certain distance between the presidential motorcade and all other traffic.
Right.
So they're like holding people back until the motorcade is like 5 miles down the road, and then they start letting people go. So you just backed up. The traffic is like, it was a disaster. It sucked. And I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, is there like a body in the road up there that fell out of a hearse or something? And no, it was the Don in town. But yeah, so Dan couldn't even come into the office today because he didn't want to deal with the potential of the traffic. I did see a great tweet about this, though. And I'll read it to you now.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. The star of The Apprentice is being interviewed today by the former host of Fear Factor in what some say may be the most watched and consequential interview in the history of presidential elections. And that about sums it up.
It's going to be a tweet in like a history book.
Yes.
In a few years.
That's where we're at. That's what we've become. And it's insane. Props to podcasting. What an industry we've established here. But opposite of props to our country, because it's so wild. Like that being consequential as it is, as consequential as it is just insane. It's truly an insane timeline.
It's like a very factual statement too. Like that's like very true. Like
there's no opinion in that at all.
No.
That's a piece of that tweet is journalism.
Mm-hmm.
It is journalism. The star of The Apprentice being interviewed by the former host of Fear Factor. He should have tied in MMA commentator, because then they could maybe you know what? That's where they should have put their money, the budget for the Carpenter.
Yeah.
Their marketing budget.
Did they get Joe Rogan in there to like commentate on the?
Yeah, they should have.
Fights?
He could have been like one of the disciples who his side hustle is being the commentator at the MMA matches.
Yeah.
That would have been a good move. But they definitely should put money into they should be sponsoring this Trump Rogan interview, the Carpenter.
Carpenter, yeah.
Because that's their audience right there.
No, it really is, yeah.
You're going, who the fuck is going to go see the Carpenter? JRE fans, the Joe Rogan Experience fans.
Yep.
That's who's going to see the Carpenter, man.
Very glad I get to avoid this, although I hope it's not still fucking with the traffic later
I don't
tonight.
think it will be.
Okay.
No, I think he'll be out of here by the afternoon.
Okay, that's good stuff.
It's probably happening as we speak, as you and I are here recording our podcast.
They're finishing up.
Elsewhere in the city, Donald Trump and Joe Rogan have probably been rambling to each other for about 2.5 hours about God knows what. And I have never listened to an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Like a full episode?
No,
just
they're
in general?
so long.
Yeah.
I've listened to snippets before,
mm-hmm.
but I've never listened to a full episode. Every once in a while, he'll have a guest on that I'm interested in, and I'll catch like the social media clips and shit, but I'm not doing a 2.5 hour.
No, that's insane.
It's just simply too long. But I might watch this. Because it's for the same reason I kind of want to watch The Carpenter, and I kind of want to watch Megalopolis, and I kind of want to watch
Joker.
The Joker too.
Yeah.
Because I got to see the shit show. I got to
see the train wreck.
I got to see the train wreck, man. There's just... You already can't keep this man on topic for more than like 45 seconds. And Rogan is also incapable of sticking to one topic for more than like a couple of minutes. So it's just going to be constant topic switching between these two dudes. And I maybe he'll try to get him to smoke a blunt like he did with Elon Musk.
That'd be
big news.
That'd be huge news.
But this is going to do insane numbers. That's the other thing. I want to see like how many downloads and views the Joe Rogan podcast with Trump 2 weeks before the election gets. Because it's going to be upwards of like 100 million for sure. Club Shay Shay is doing 100 million views with like Cat Williams.
Is it really?
Yeah, dude.
Damn. Well, that Cat
views.
Williams interview was pretty wild, and like there's so many clips from that, so I guess I can see that. But yeah, no, they'll do numbers for sure.
I'm gonna pull up the Club Shay Shay YouTube here, hosted by Shannon Sharp, known horny man, and. Yeah, so that one did 81,538,000 views. The Cat Williams one, just on YouTube. So yeah. I guarantee
and then plus all the clips and stuff.
Guarantee it's over 100 million total. But it looks like he's regularly doing 1 million views with other people. Like he had LL Cool J and did 1 million views. He's got fucking John Legend most recently. It looks like.
Okay.
But that one just came out yesterday, so it's only at 22,000 by comparison. Anyway, Club Shay Shay does
they do numbers.
Does downloads, bro.
Yeah.
They do downloads. What are you doing this weekend, kid?
Oh, dressing up, getting drunk, same old.
Being Buddy the Elf.
Being Buddy, yeah.
I'm gonna go to a pumpkin patch.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I haven't been to one in years.
Well, you know what they got out there? A bunch of pumpkins.
Makes sense.
Check them all out. Maybe pick one.
Pick the best one.
Pick a shapely one that pleases you.
Yeah.
My parents are coming in on Sunday.
That'll be fun. Nice little
grandparent time with the kids.
Sunday fun day with the parents.
Yeah. Got Texans Colts.
Yep, big game.
At noon on Sunday. The result of which will determine which one of us is dressed as in the other team's gear next week on Patreon.
Yeah. But I feel like I have like more incentive to win because then you also have to do this is our Colts, this is our team. Nay! Yeah. Oh, you got the nay down.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I can do it. My dad friend Jeff reached out yesterday after our Patreon episode dropped. He listened to it, and he was like, "I've got Texans and Colts jerseys. If you need one." I'm like, I didn't even ask. I was just like, bro, what? Like, why do you own both Texans and Colts jerseys? I think he's just like a sports memorabilia guy.
Yeah. I mean, I have like jerseys from like other teams too. I don't even have a Colts jersey.
What other jerseys do you have?
I have 4 Ohio State jerseys, a Ken Griffey jersey from the Marlins.
Oh, that's tight.
An Allen Iverson jersey.
Mariners,
yeah.
I was gonna say what Marlins.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Mariners.
Chinese knockoff. They put it on the wrong.
It was from China.
They put it on the wrong jersey.
I have an AI jersey. It's like half black, half white.
Love that.
Pretty sick. An Isaiah Thomas and a LeBron Heat jersey. So I got like all the different random ass teams.
White dudes, we just love basketball jerseys.
Dude,
bro.
Jerseys are sick, man. I wish I had more. You brought up that like one of your jerseys was from China.
Yeah, a Whitney Merciless Texans knockoff. I went to a tailgate one time when I had season tickets, and one of our tailgate members was like, "Hey, I found a Chinese NFL jersey knockoff place. They're like $39.99 instead of like $100, and they're just like the authentic jerseys.
Now for
it's crazy
it's
expensive."
Absurd.
And I was like, "Fuck it, I'll take a Whitney Merciless."
Yeah,
and it's like it's not bad, but like you can tell, like it's not authentic, you know.
Yeah, I'm actually like, I would like to get more jerseys again, but like I don't have that Chinese site to go
Connect?
to. Yeah, I don't know who to go to for that anymore. So I don't know if there's any listeners out there.
Yeah, if you got to connect,
like, hit me up.
Holler
Get me
at
right.
Kade. Get him right, dude.
Get me right.
I've got a haircut after this too.
Oh hell yeah, she's gonna
tell her to get me right.
Good shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so gonna be Buddy this weekend. I got a question. Should I shave the beard, give the more iconic Buddy look, or do I keep it? Because I feel like I look better with a beard.
I think you go all in. I think you shave it.
Okay.
I think it's a special occasion.
Yeah.
You got to commit to it for a couple of weeks.
Got to
commit
to the
You can always grow the beard back,
yeah.
but you can't.
I think after Halloween, I think I'm going to do the stash for November.
See, there you go.
So
this gives you a path to the stash, too.
Clean shaven. Okay.
Fresh start.
Yep.
Get the stash going.
All right.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah. It's been so long. Probably since like high school, like before I could like actually grow a beard.
You've been clean shaven?
Yeah.
Shit, man. For me, it's been, how many years ago was that? Since high school?
Like 10 years, probably. Or probably a little, like 10 to 12 years.
I think it's been 8 years for me. Since 2016, since I was clean shaven. And I think about it a lot. Every once in a while, I'll come across a photo of me clean shaven. I look like a completely different person.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like I wouldn't recognize.
But I'm like, that's not a bad looking guy.
Yeah,
I could pull that off. It's me. It's insane to say.
You're just gassing yourself up.
I'm like, yeah, I could be that guy again.
Yeah.
And I can't bring myself to do it. I don't know. I've had friends like Will DeFreeze, bearded dude now.
Yep.
But when we worked together, every once in a while, he would show up to the office. He's one of these freaks who can grow a beard in like, a normal amount of time.
Yeah. He grows like a full
beard.
Yeah, like it looks really good.
Like he looks like he puts beard oil in it and like manicures
yeah.
it and, grows it somehow. I'm not capable of doing what Will does. The point is, every once in a while, he would show up to work clean shaven. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
He looked like a pedophilic uncle. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, fuck. So I think he permanently scarred me into thinking like I can never shave again.
Dude, that's what it's been for me. I'm like, I've always had the beard for so long, and like I kind of want to do something different with it. Like I thought about like doing the stash. That's why I'm like trying it out in November. Although I've done it before, but like just to see, like the reactions I get.
Every man that grows facial hair has this calling at some point.
Yeah.
Like, can I do a stash?
Yeah, and like stashes are in now. Like a lot of people like them.
They've never not been in though.
But I feel like, you know, the
You're just-
pedophiles and Hitler give it a bad name.
Well, the Hitler one is
Yeah,
nobody knows why he did that. Just like what the nobody was like, bro, you should probably just not stop
like,
shaving the sides off.
Go all in or nothing at all.
No mustache, because what you're doing is just terrifying everyone. If to go with everything else you're doing, that's terrifying everyone. So I guess it was on brand for him. But I feel like there have always been mustache men.
Yeah,
they're out there. They don't need it to be trendy.
Mm-hmm.
And the older you get, the more this happens. Because dudes are going. We're like I said last week, like I'm searching for something.
Yeah.
We're all out here looking for something to make us feel a little better about the fucking state of our lives and the world. And maybe it's a mustache.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe that's what we need. My brother tried this a few years ago. And I remember he shaved everything but his stash, and he sent a photo to the family text group, and he looked like a goddamn idiot.
See, that's what I'm worried about.
But he didn't have it yet, like the ability to go full yet.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have enough. So he looked like, like a teenage boy thinking he could pull off a mustache, and it did not work. And I don't think he ever went back. But I've got multiple friends with stashes right now. I do feel like late 20s, early 30s, you start to see a lot more mustaches because it's like a pre-midlife crisis move.
Right.
Like before you get to where I'm at, which is more full midlife crisis, where you're trying to find a new haircut and you're thinking about becoming an F-350 guy. You're just trying to make changes. You're getting up at 6:30 in the morning just to search for joy. That's full midlife crisis.
Oh.
Some dudes buy Corvettes and shit. I wake up an hour earlier and just fucking stare at myself in the mirror and wonder if I could pull off a clean shaven look or a mustache. But yeah, I think it's like it's a checkpoint in life where you're like, maybe I could pull off a mustache. Yeah. And there is something manly about it,
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, because if you can pull it off, you look really good in it. But
it demands respect.
Yeah,
the mustache. So I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I will be shaving tonight then.
Maybe if you have success with this journey you're about to embark on, it'll inspire me and give me enough confidence to go for something new. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you, it's not likely.
Probably not, no.
Because I have trouble jumping.
Yeah, taking the leap.
Like with the haircuts.
Yeah. I'm
just going to go in there today and ask for the same thing. We all know that. She knows that. And I'm just a pussy. I don't know how to change that. So, well, I hope this weekend goes well as Buddy the Elf.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Might go to a party too on Saturday. I'm not too sure about that yet, but
like a house party?
Well, it's someone's like birthday that I don't know, but like my friend invited me, and like there's a couple other people that I know.
But is it at a house?
I have no idea. I don't know the location. It's okay. Like, so you probably don't get this anymore, but like when people like send invites to like parties or whatever, they use this app called Partiful.
Okay.
And so
you can RSVP?
Yeah. And so I don't have the app because I don't like get them a lot, but I've gotten a couple like these past couple of weeks for like Halloween parties. And like this is what it looks like. If I can get that there. God. Motherfuck. So.
Okay.
And then
it lets you make like a little custom invitation.
A little Scorpio season thing.
Flames shot up the sides.
Yeah. And then this is like keeps shooting the flames.
Fucking flamethrower, yeah. So that's cool. So you get the details
but you don't get the location unless you RSVP.
Oh.
So I haven't RSVP'd yet, again, because I don't like fucking know the person. Then so yeah, you hit going maybe or can't go. And then that's
it's kind of cool, and you can see all the other people who've RSVP'd as well.
If you RSVP,
there have been versions of this in the past.
I mean, I know like
Eventful.
Yeah,
was one I've had sent to me a bunch,
and then like Facebook, you could like make events on there and invite people. So that was what I used to use in high school or whatever. But
that was like the OG version of it. Yeah.
But yeah, so might be partying it up. I mean, I will be partying it up, but at a party.
At a party,
yeah.
That could be.
Well, I'm always the party. I bring the party. I am the party.
You are the party.
Yeah.
You live the party.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, kid.
Thank you.
Good for you. Hope the rest of you have a great weekend and maybe you party yourselves. That'll do it for today's show. We'll be back next week with more RBP. We already dropped our Patreon episode this week. Every week we do an ad-free exclusive episode available only to members of the RBP gang supporting our show on patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast. Go now to patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast and sign up. And you can access a 7-day free trial where you can check out the hundreds of exclusive ad-free episodes we have published there over the last several years, get a feel for how those Patreon episodes worked, where we take hotline calls from listeners and they inspire the segments and the conversation that happens on the show. Enjoy that 7-day free trial, then stick around on patreon.com/Ross Bolin Podcast to support our show and be a part of making sure the show can go on. Also, please support our sponsors anytime we have them by hitting the links in the description of this episode and using the dedicated codes. That is the other way we pay the bills here at Bolin Media. Today we had Shopify, shopify.com/RBP, all lowercase, to get yourself a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/RBP, all lowercase. Check out our other shows here at Bolin Media, like if you're an F1 fan, Jared J-Bone Borislow is bringing you the latest in the world of F1 every single week with a recap of the most recent race and a preview of the upcoming race. You can check out Formula Bone wherever you get RBP, but most of the Formula Bone content consumers take it in on youtube.com/@FormulaBone, where J-Bone has amassed over 150,000 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been 125,000, but over
on YouTube.
Yeah,
I think he's over 150 now.
Okay, so I think he's over 150, and also you can follow @FormulaBone on social media. If you were watching The Penguin on HBO, on my TV and film podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, me and Mr. Barrett Dudley are dropping a podcast every single week where we recap and discuss the most recent episode of The Penguin. It's a lot of fun. If you've never listened to OCC before and used it as a companion podcast to a show you were watching, it is a blast. Up next, after we cover The Penguin, next month, November, we'll be doing Dune Prophecy, as well as a little bit of Silo Season 2. So that should be a blast on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. And if you are a Houston sports fan, check out Banging the Can, my Houston sports podcast, where I yell about mostly the Texans right now, but soon to be some Rockets yelling as well, I can assure you. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at WRBolin. Mr. Orris, where can the people follow you?
You can follow me on all the social media platforms at Kade Orris. That's KADEORRIS.
And follow the show by searching the Ross Bolin Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. This episode of RBP is presented by Bolin Media. Video of today's show was produced by Kade Orris and is available on youtube.com/@the Ross Bolin Podcast. Until next time, remember, you are not alone. Peace be with you and also with you.